time we're going here. So again, if you're just joining us, no worries, just a band for today's class. Of course, you can sub out that band and you can do body weight. You can also grab a set of light weights in addition to the band or replacing the band. So just start with a nice little jog. We've got a little bit of cardio in today's class. Nice fun little breakup with that band, of course. Go ahead and take it to some jumping jacks. From here, come to a standing position, feet are hip width apart and parallel. Draw your knee up and over to a side lunge. Opening up your hips, deep bend into that knee as you press your hips back. Let's do one more on each side. All right, coming on down to a low wide squat. Feet are wide than your hips, toes are turned out, arms out to a T. We're just gonna bend and extend in those knees. Chest is lifted. So again, if you're just now joining us, just a set of light weights if you would like, as well as a band. I'm using a light loop band. Keep your knees bent. Draw your hand towards your opposite ankle, opposite knee. Reach for whatever you can. Few more here. Let's do one more on each side. Come upright, hold that hinge forward, give yourself a nice big hug, and then squeeze your arms together as you lift your arms up high towards the ceiling. Come on down to a runner's lunge, right knee back, left knee forward, pressing into that left knee, allowing your hips to open up, chin and chest stays lifted. And then drawing your hips back, straightening your front left leg, maybe point, flex, circle out that left ankle. Hold your left toe flexed, hinge forward, framing your left leg, maybe bringing the crown of your head towards your toes, feeling that deep sensation on the back side of your left leg. Come upright, switching sides, left knee down, big step forward with your right foot, pressing into that right knee, allowing your left hip to open up on this side. We're going to draw the hips back, point, flex, circle out that right ankle. Hold the right toes flexed, hinge forward, maybe bringing your nose towards your knee, heart towards your thigh. And then gently come on up. Roll your shoulders back, roll them forward. We're going to grab that band. If you have it, again, I'm just using a light band. You can go heavier. You can also grab a set of weights in addition to the band or replacing the band. All right, we're going to first bring that band around your wrist. Your palms are facing in. Let me get our timer started here. From this position, arms are directly out in front. We're going to open the arms. We come into a reverse lunge, alternating right to left, left to right. Your arms are directly out in front of you, so you're opening as you alternate, stepping that leg back in that reverse lunge stance. Keep it going. Still going, still moving. Alternating right to left, left to right, stepping directly back. If you want more of a challenge, try not to close your arms back to shoulder width. Keep that resistance on and pulse it further out. That's it. Few more breaths here. We're going to hold that reverse lunge. Whoop, and 5. Having a very cushiony floor. Disabled your balance. All right, right or left foot back. From here, hold that lunge. Arms overhead, arms forward. We're going to switch at the halfway mark. So your arms are forward. You're holding that reverse lunge. Left or right foot back. We'll switch, don't worry. Arms overhead, arms forward. Hold that lunge nice and low. Chest is lifted. We're going to switch in 5, 3, 2, and 1. Step that opposite foot back. Arms raised. Arms forward. Keep it going. Just going to grab some water. You've got it. Holding that reverse lunge. Maybe sinking that knee further towards the floor. All right. Just a few more. You've got 5 more seconds here. Hold the arms wide. All right, draw those feet hip width apart and parallel. Release one hand. We're going to bring the band around your right wrist and your left arm. Bring that band to your left shoulder. What's in your left hand and your right hand on your shoulder. Hinge forward, and we're just going to extend that arm straight back. Tricep bend and extend. Tiny movements, trying to straighten that left arm as much as possible. Your right hand is just holding that band in place onto your left shoulder. Extend and bend. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. You're slightly hinged forward. Few more here, then we're going to switch sides. Stay with it. Tiny bend, tiny extend. All right, give me 2 more and then we'll switch. All right, bring that band around your right hand and your left wrist toward your right shoulder. We're going to hold it bent, hold that hinge forward, draw it back and bend, drop back and bend. Keep it going. Keep a soft bend in your knees. Avoid locking out your knees. Keep a nice soft bend. Relax your shoulders down from your ears. It's just your right tricep working this time. Band is held on tight with your right hand. You can also do weights. You can do both arms or one arm if you're using weights. Keep it going. We're going to bring that band around your palms here. And 3, 2, give me one more. There you go. Come to a wide second position. So you're in that plie squat. That band's around your palms. Come deep in your squat. Arms overhead. From here, we're going to draw that elbow down with the heel lift. So we're going just to the right side. So you're bending deeper into that right arm. That left arm is trying to stay just in the same position. So if your arms are completely straight, you're just bending that right. If both of your arms start out in a bend, just bend deeper into that right one. So it's as if you're pulling it down and back up. We're working that right oblique, that right calf, your right shoulder. Keep it going. A few more here. That's it. Almost there. All right, bring the arms down and up. Few swings here. All right, hold the arms up. Now you guessed it. Now we have the left side or the right side. If you started with the left side, left heel raise as you draw that left elbow towards your left knee. Now if your elbows are bent, you're bending that left elbow deeper. If your arms are straight, you're bending that left arm further down towards your left knee. Keep it going. Working that left oblique, left shoulder, left calf. Coming super high on that left tippy toe, lifting the left heel as you crunch the same elbow down. Coming back upright. We're going to change that placement of our band here in just a few. Think I have a hole in my band. Keep it going. All right, go ahead and release that band around your left foot. We're going to come into a warrior position here. So your left foot's forward, your right foot's back, right foot's forward, left foot is directly out from your hip. From here, place your left hand onto your elbow. We're going to work that right arm. So your palm is facing in. We just have a narrow row and release. So you're in that bent forward position. You can adjust your feet. You can bring them closer together if you'd like. You can separate them further. If you want to come into a lunge stance instead, this is why. It's a little bit more of a challenge for your balance. If you want to hold in that lunge, you can also pivot that back right foot coming into that warrior 2 position. Back right leg is straight, left knee is bent. Narrow row and release. We're going to bring that palm facing up here in just a moment. Can you guess what we're going to do with that right arm next? You've got it. All right, palm facing up. Give me that bicep curl and release. Full extend, full bend. You can also hover that left arm. You want to work more into that core. That's it. Bicep curl with that right hand. Your left hand is just resting on your left knee. Maybe hovering in space. Firing up that right bicep. We're going to switch sides here in just a few. Give me 3 more. 2 more. All right. Bring your right foot forward. Place that band around your right foot. Step your left leg back. Palm facing in. Pivot those left toes. Bend your right knee. Give me that narrow row and release. So you're drawing up and releasing. Maybe lifting that elbow super high. Of course, you can pivot those left toes to face the same direction as your front right toes. A little challenge your balance here. Maybe you find that you're wiggling, wobbling side to side. That's okay. Just find your focus. You can also pivot that back left foot down, coming into that warrior 2 position. Right hand can just be resting on your right knee. You can also extend it into space, challenging your core. Palm facing in, narrow row. So you're just rowing up and releasing. Bring it up and release. Give me 2 more. 1 more. All right, release that hand. Bring your palm facing up. All right, we have those bicep curls, just the left arm. We're going to bring that band around our ankles, and it's going to stay there for the majority of the rest of the class. Keep it going. Draw it up and release. Give me 3 more. Full bicep curl, full bend, full extend. 2 more. 1 more. All right, release it down. Place that band around your ankles. Now, if the band becomes distracting, set it off to the side. If it bunches up, fix it. Leave it alone or set it off to the side. We're going to start with our first set of cardio, regular jumping jacks. That band's on your ankles. All right, just jumping jacks here. Regular jumping jacks. Arms high up overhead. Keep a soft bend in your knees. If you want to take out that hop, you can step it side to side. You're landing soft in the balls of your feet. Your heels are lifted. Keep it going. Just a few more like this. You've got it. We have 6 minutes of cardio today. Standing cardio. Almost there. You've got 20 seconds. Then we're going to be standing in place for quite some time. That's it. You've got 10. All right, last 5, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your heels together, toes are apart, hands on your hips or with a weight. Soft bend your knees. Extend your right foot forward, point your right foot. We're going to lift and lower. So your right knee is bent. You're lifting and lowering all those jumping jacks. My hair clip fell out. All right, just a lift and a lower of that right leg. Lift and lower. That right knee stays bent. Keep your standing left knee bent as well. Do not lock out that standing knee. Point through your right toes. You can always hold on to a bar, ledge, or a wall, or a ceiling in my case, with your left hand if you'd like. Just a few more. Right toes pointed, right knee is bent. It's almost as if you're presenting your inner right thigh up towards the ceiling. All right, hold that leg lifted. From here, extend and bend. Extend and bend. So your left foot is flat, your left knee is bent, you're holding that right leg lifted, you're extending and bending, extend, and bend. Using that resistance of the tube. So as you extend, that slowness, as you extend your right ankle from your left is the exact same speed. I want you to control it as you lower that right heel back down to your left. Controlling that movement. Do not let the band control you. Extend and bend. You've got it. Just a few more. Keep it going. We're going to hold extended in 5, 3, 2. All right, hold extended as straight as you can. Toes still pointed out. Tiny lift and lift. So you're holding that leg extended. You want to keep it straight. You want to turn your toes outward so they're not facing down. They're facing outward and you're lifting. So you're really presenting that inner right thigh up towards the ceiling. Keep it going. I know this one's a doozy. Maybe hold on to that bar, that ledge. If you come to find you have a tiny bend in your right knee, that's okay. As long as it isn't a full bend. Just a tiny bend. You want to try to keep it straight. We're going to lower that right leg down. And we have our second set of jumping jacks. 2 out of 6 coming up. You've got 10 seconds here. Stay with it. Keep it going. Toes point out. All right, release it down. Shake out those hips. Now we have seal jacks. So arms are forward and out to a T. You can step or hop. Hopefully my hair doesn't fall out with this one. Keep it going. Just stepping or hopping. Side to side. So your arms are staying at shoulder height. Keep it going. Last 10. All right, last one. Shake it out. Hopefully your right hip isn't pinching you. If so, try not to lean into that left hip as much. Bring your feet hip width apart and parallel. Again, hands to your hips. From here, we're just going to lift it out to the side and back in. So your right foot is flexed. You're working that outermost part of your right hip. Out to the side and back in. Keep a micro bend in your standing left knee, so avoid locking it out. Keep a nice bend. And that knee, your right foot is flexed. Just a lift and a lower. Keep it going. A little lift, a little lower. Notice the tension when you lock out that left knee versus when you keep it bent. You're going to notice that you don't lean into that left side as much. All right. Hold that right leg lifted. We're just going to point and flex. Tiny point, tiny flex. So again, your left knee is bent. Avoid locking out that knee. Keep a nice bend. And that left knee, you can hold that right leg as high as you like with that band or keep it down low. Of course, you can always set the band off to the side if you would like. But of course, what you do on one side, try to do it on the other. So if you're using the band on this side, you want it consistent and keep the band on the other side. All right, from here, hold the toes pointed. We shake out those hips. Commit to that bend in the left knee. Right leg is straight, right toes pointed. We're going to rainbow up and rainbow back. We are working that outer hip pocket here on the right side. Right knee is bent. Sorry, left knee is bent, right leg is straight. Draw it back, draw it forward. Keep it going. You've got it. All right, give me one more forward and back. All right, shake it out. One more set of jacks for the right side. We have seal jacks. So arms overhead as you jack your feet out. Join me when you're ready. Same options here. You can step it side to side. If you would like, you can hop it. Please make sure that as you land the balls of your feet down, your heels are lifted. Your knees are bent. Keep it going. If you're using that band, depending on the resistance, it's going to restrict how wide you can step your feet out. That's okay. Last 3, 2, and 1. All right, shake it out. Bring your feet back to hip width apart and parallel. From here, we're going to step that right leg back. That right leg is straight. You want to slightly hinge forward, bend into that left knee. You can hold on to a bar, or ledge, or ceiling in my case. We're going to lift and lower that right leg. So now we're working the base of your right glute. Just lift and lower. Your abs are engaged. Lift and lower. Keep it going. Keep that bend in your front left knee. Avoid locking out that knee. Nice bend that front right knee. Front left knee. Oh my goodness, you guys. I swear I know my left from my rights. You're working your right leg. Your left leg is your base. Keep it going. Great. On your next one, hold that leg lifted. From here, we're going to bend the heel to the glute and then extend. If that band rolls up, don't worry about it. You can also fix it if it really bothers you. You can also place it around the arch of your left foot so it's stuck there, and then heel up and extend. Keep it going. Almost there. Trying to bring your right heel in towards your glute closer. Your right toes are pointed. Your feet and your knees are hip width apart and parallel. You know, they say elevation affects how you're able to breathe. I can tell. Point and just bend and extend. I'm currently in Tahoe, so the elevation's certainly different than Washington, D.C. Keep it going. Bend and extend. All right, hold that knee bent. We're going to flex the foot, tiny presses up. So you're pressing that knee back and up, not just pressing it back. You want to keep that heel close into your glute, and you're pressing it up. Keep it going. You still have that bend in your left knee. Commit to that bend in your standing knee at all times. That right knee is bent even more than your left. You want to keep your right heel in towards your glutes. Right toes are flexed. If you notice that your leg starts to extend, be mindful. Drop back in. We're almost there. Last 5 and 4. That's 3. 2 more. Last one. All right. Whew. Release it down. Shake it out. My goodness. That left leg is going to feel like jello. All right. We're back to our regular jumping jacks. Join me when you're ready, because what we do on one side, we want to keep it consistent, keeping everything symmetrical. We're going to do those exact same moves on the left side. I believe it's 9, might be 8, might be 10. And we are going to do those jumping jack variations in between. Little mental distraction for us. Keep it going. Almost there. All right, step it out. Catch your breath. Hopefully it's not just me needing to catch the breath. All right, draw your heels back together. Toes are apart, so you're back in that first position. From here, bend into your right knee. Extend your left leg straight. Point your left toe. Left toe is pointed out. From here, lift and lower. You have a slight bend in that left knee. You also have a slight bend in your standing right leg. Lift and lower. So tuck your hips under so we're not hinged forward. We're not leaning too far back. We're not sticking our bum out. Keep everything nice and in line. Everything tight. As my favorite yoga teacher always says, tight muscles are light muscles. Keep it going. Lift and lower. All right, give me 2 more. All right, hold that left leg lifted. Left toe stay pointed. We're going to extend and bend. Extend and bend. You've been here before. I think personally the front side and the side are the hardest. The back is always more fun. We're always stronger on the glutes. Right now you're firing up your hip flexor. You're working your quads, your inner and outer thighs. Hold that left leg extended. Hold it lifted. Extend and bend. We'll hold it extended here in just a moment. Look at me getting ahead of myself. Keep it going. Still pointing your left toes. Commit to that bend in your standing right knee. Your right knee is your base. Don't lock out that knee. Keep it nice and bent. You're just extending and bending into that left knee. Keep it going. All right, hold it extended as straight as you can. If you feel micro bend, that is okay. From here, tiny lifts. This one's a doozy. You're going to feel it in your left quad and your left hip flexor. That is okay. We have those jumping jacks to break it up. Keep it going. Tiny lift and lower. My goodness, I'm thirsty. Just that left leg. Try to keep it straight. Try to keep your left thigh lifted up towards the ceiling. Your right foot is planted. And again, if you have that micro bend in your left knee, that is perfectly fine. As long as it isn't a full bend, you want to try to get as straight as you can. Give me 3 more. And 2. And 1. Whew. All right, shake it out. We have those seal jacks next. Arms out. Jack out those feet. Step it or hop it. So again, you can take out that hop at any time. You can add the hop at any time. Your arms are directly out in front and out to the shoulders. You're just stepping side to side or hopping. We have that left side coming up next. Keep it going. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, shake it out. If you need to, find that bar ledge with your right side. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Soft bend in your right knee. Extend your left leg straight. We're going to flex it, lift, and lower. So as you can see here, I'm grabbing onto this log and I'm leaning. So if you're pushing into something, you want to try to add that resistance so your body stays upright and you're working that outer part of your hip. If you're leaning into something, you're not going to feel it. You're going to feel it more in your standing leg. So really be upright, lift and lower. If you have something to pull onto, it's not going to pull with you. You can pull off of it. If you're doing something where you're leaning into it, add that resistance. Maybe straighten out your arm. Lift and lower, keeping that body upright. Just the left leg. Right knee stays bent. All right, hold that left leg extended. Left leg is straight. Point and flex. Keep it going. Core is engaged. Notice how if you're using that ledge and you're just leaning into it, point and flex, you're not feeling it on this side. You're feeling it on this side. This side already did the work. Give it a nice breather. If you're holding on to something, pull off of it, point and flex. You're going to feel it on that left side. Notice the difference. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it pointed. Hold that right knee bent. Draw it forwards and backwards. Try not to move your body. So we're not drawing forward as we bring it back. We're not leaning back as we draw it forward. You want all the work to be in that inner and outer left leg, left hip, left glute. You're also working your abs by keeping everything stable in one line because your leg is having to work and you're not able to flow with it. You're keeping your core engaged. Give me 2 more on each side. 2 front. Last one. All right. Whew, only 1 more side to go. That's the back. All right, pencil jack time. Reach it up high. Step or jack those feet out. Notice, where are you feeling sore now? Keep it going. That's it. All right, last one. Whew. Shake it out. All right, let's see. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. We're gonna hinge forward. Did my mat move? Am I going crazy? Hinge forward. Point your left toes, lift and lower. You can hold on to that bar, ledge, that wall, ceiling with your right side or in the front. You should feel it in the base of your left glute. You're extending that leg straight back. Show you guys from this side. So I'm not going to the side. I'm not doing a curtsy. It's just going straight back, lift and lower. My right knee is staying bent, so don't lock out that knee. I think this has moved. All my jumping jacks. All right. Just a lift and a lower. All right. Hold that left leg lifted. Bend and extend. Bend and extend. So that log was perfectly placed with my mat in the other way. Bend and extend. My right standing knee is bent. It's not locked out. It's nice and bent. Your hips are in line, so avoid opening up your hip. We'll get to those positions later on in class. You don't want to let your left hip droop down. It's perfectly in line. Thinking that your hips are a headlight, and as you're hinging forward, you want that light to guide you. So if it's crooked, you don't want it to go off this way. You don't want it to go off to the right. You want it to stay straight, just like your gaze. That left heel is lifted off the floor. Bend and extend. We're going to hold it here, bent, and just a few. Stay with me. I know it burns. Hold that left foot bent. Flex your foot. Press it up. Maybe the band's staying for one side. You can also always adjust it, placing it around the sole of your right foot, and you're still pressing up. I think I'm all twisted here with my band. That's okay. Keep it going. A little presses up and release. Keep it going. How are we on time? Oh, we are perfect. All right, if it makes you feeling better, we're going to come down onto our bum after this. But give me 3 more because it's so fun. 2 and 1. All right, come on down to the floor. Coming onto your bum. From here, we're going to lean back onto your forearms. Your legs are extended. You still have that band around your ankles. Give me little flutter kicks. Single leg raise and lower, alternating. That height that you get one leg while the other one drops, not touching the floor, is up to your hip flexors, up to your flexibility, and up to that resistance of that band that you chose. If you chose to use a band, you can always set the band off to the side at any point. We're targeting your lower abs, so your lower back is pressed into the floor. Your forearms are just gently on the floor. You can bring your palms face up. If you find that you're pushing your weight and focusing your palms pressing into the floor, you can just gently lift them up, releasing that pressure. All right, draw the knees into the chest. From here, we're going to extend the legs low to a hover. Now that hover can be an inch off the floor, can be 5 inches, can be a few feet, it can be directly up towards the ceiling. We have a V out. So whatever depth you're working from, single leg raise, lower, single leg raise, lower. So V, single raise, single raise, V. If your legs are vertically up towards the ceiling, make that raise and lower instead just a lower and a lift. So you're doing the opposite. V out, leg drop, V out, leg drop, leg drop. So you're doing 2 alternating leg drops or leg lowers depending on how close your legs are towards the floor with that low V out. Still targeting those lower abs. I know it burns. Stay with it. What do I have next? What fun is in store? All right. Low V out. Lift, lift. All right, from here, release your feet to the floor. Your forearms are still down. Draw your knees in towards your chest, over your hips. So they're not super close, they're over your hips. From here, we're gonna extend the right leg, draw it in, extend the left, draw it in. Really targeting those lower abs right now. So as one leg extends, the opposite leg is not moving. So notice my left leg, it's not moving, not even my toes, down to my hip. Once it locks in place, where your knee is directly over your hip, you want to do everything at all costs to keep it completely still. That's it. Keep it going. All right, give me one more on each side. Whew. All right, roll back. Draw your knees into your chest. We're not done. Place that band, if you have it, around your thighs, just above your knees. If you're not using a band, don't worry about it. You can also place weights on your hips. Please make sure you hold them if you're using the weights. All right, from here, feet are hip width apart and parallel. We're just going to lift and lower. You're squeezing your glutes, so your feet are hip width apart. Your knees are also hip width apart, so your knees aren't wider, your knees aren't knocked together. Just a lift and a lower, squeezing your glutes the entire time, not just at the top. Imagine those glutes are a kitchen sponge. You want to squeeze all of that excess water out of the sponge until you're done with the glute workout. Keep it going. All right, on your next one, hold it lifted. Your shoulders are still pressed into the floor. Knees open, knees closed. So you're rocking on that outer knife edge of your foot from your pinky straight back to your heel as you open your knees to that butterfly position. Your big toes are still grounded. Your feet are still hip width apart and parallel. Your hips are lifted. Shoulders are pressed into the floor, so avoid doing a full bridge or a wheel. We want the focus to be on our glutes. Just an open and a close. Keep it going. All right, on the next one, hold the knees open. We're going to lower and lift. So you're holding your feet on that outer pinky edge, this knife edge of your foot. Imagine that my hands are my feet. I'm just rocking on that outer point and then rolling my hips up and barely tapping them down before lifting right back up again. Keep it going. All right, hold the hips lifted. Draw the knees back to hip width apart and parallel. Draw a single knee march and then release. You're releasing your feet back to hip width apart and parallel. Draw the knee up towards the same shoulder and then release it down. Knee up, release it down. Your core is engaged. Your hips are lifted. So you're working your glutes, you're working your core by drawing that knee up and down. If that band rolls, do not worry about it. If you have those weights, please make sure you're holding those weights on your hips. Give me one more on each side. All right, from here, release the feet down, hip width apart and parallel. Zip your knees together so you're coming into a knock knee position. Your hips are still lifted. Lower tap and lift. This is it. This is where you finish with that band or weights or just your body weight. Really squeeze your thighs together. Not even a piece of paper can get between your thighs. Knees stay zipped together. Your feet are planted and your feet are still hip width apart and parallel. You're lifting and lowering your glutes. That's 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Release the hips down. Draw your knees into your chest. Release that band. Place that band around your right foot up towards the ceiling. Extend your left leg long. Point, flex, circle out that right ankle. If you don't have a band, just pretend keeping your right foot up. From here, we're going to let that right leg tip over to the right side. So again, this is up to your flexibility. Can be a few inches, can be a few feet. You can tuck your outer right ankle on the floor. You can do that as well. Come back through center. Draw that right leg, crossing it over your left thigh, but keeping your right hip on the floor. So stretching that outer part of your right hip. Your shoulders stay pressed into the floor. Come back to center. Maybe draw that calf in toward your chest. And then lay back down. Release your left foot up. Place it inside the band. Or just pretend your right foot is down, left foot is up. So point, flex, circle out that left ankle. From here, hold the toes flexed. Let that left leg tip over to the left side. Opening up that left hip. Your right leg is just relaxed. Flat on the floor. And then coming back through center. Let that left leg release over to the right. Your left hip stays on the floor. Come back through center. Draw that left thigh in towards your chest. Point, flex, circle out your left ankle. All right, release the band off to the side. Draw both of your knees into your chest. Rock and roll yourselves a few times along your spine. And then coming to a seated position of choice. You can butterfly your knees if you like, or cross one over the right. Bring your right arm across your body. Chin, chest stays lifted. Shoulders stacked over your hips. Stay nice and upright. Open and switch. Left arm across your shoulder. Avoid grabbing at the wrist or the elbow. Open. Draw your right elbow wide behind your head. Chin, chest stays lifted. Open and switch. Left elbow wide. And open. From here, keeping the soles of your feet together. So come to that butterfly if you were previously crisscross applesauce one over the other. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Option 1, clasping your feet together. You can hinge forward, bring the crown of your head toward your toes. If you would like a deeper lower back stretch, as I can turn this way and show you guys now, you want to extend your legs out so you're making more of that diamond shaped. It isn't like your heels are close in towards your glutes. Extend your heels out to that diamond shaped. Now you can place your hands under your calf, so palms facing up. This is option 3. If you like, place your palms on the top shoelace portion of your feet, lengthen your spine, and then roll forward, bringing the crown of your head towards your heels, your arch, maybe your toes. Feeling that deep stretch all along your lower back, your outer hips. On your next exhale, gently release everything. Roll the shoulders back and forward. Fantastic work today. Thank you so very much for joining me.